What is going on, everybody? We are going to do another one of our property appraiser videos, and it's just, again, me showing you guys how simple, and girls, how simple it is to find the property appraiser website and get some basic information on a property if you are looking to dive a little bit deeper and figure out who either the owner is, maybe the bedroom bathroom count, permits, any other type of information that you might be able to pull off that property appraiser site. I want to show you guys how simple it is to do that, and we're going to do it by picking an area that I do not do business in right now. So that means I do not know how to use their property appraiser site. We are going to do this at the same time because I want you to see how simple it is. And I decided to go with Orlando. We did Tampa on one of my last videos, so Hillsborough County. So this time around, we're going to do the town of Orlando, which is a big county. So I figure their property appraiser site is one that gets used often, and hopefully this will help somebody out there. So first things first, I like to go over to Google, especially if I have no knowledge of what county it is, and just type in Orlando and the state. So we're going to get some information here. It's not giving us any of that information of what the county is over here on the right-hand side. Sometimes you might get that information. You could also just type in Orlando, Florida County and see what pops up. But I always like to just click on the Wikipedia, load their Wikipedia page. Usually in that first paragraph or two, you're going to get the county, but you can also go down on the right hand side here. They give you so much information. So if we come down here, you can see right here, country, state, county. So we're in Orange County for Orlando, which I was familiar with what the county was, but I have never used their property appraiser site. So next thing you do is you just go over to Google and you're going to type in Orange County, Florida property appraiser. As soon as you start typing in the word property, usually appraiser is going to pop up, as that's probably the most common search term after the word property. So we're going to go right into it. You get a little pop-up here. And one thing I'll let you know is sometimes if you bookmark the property appraiser websites, you might find that link goes dead pretty quickly within a month or two if they happen to change something on their site. But we're on their property appraiser site right now. Looks like they got quite a bit of information. So I'm just browsing to look for, here we go, property searches. Usually it's going to be one of their top links. And we have record search, map search, old map search, sales analysis tools. So it looks like they got some good information here on the Orange County site. And if you're doing real estate in this area, it's good to get familiar with a property appraiser website, not only for your clients, but for yourself and for your future business. So let's go under property searches and let's just go to record search. Usually you've got to agree to some terms. Looks like they got some pop-ups going on here. What are you looking to do today? So they got a nice little message system built into their website. So that's really nice. If you have a question, we might be able to just test that out and see how quick they respond. But let's keep doing what we're doing here. So I need to come up with a property address to show you guys. So let's go to Zillow. And let's find an address in Orlando, Florida for sale. All right, so you got Orlando here, and let's just pick a house that's for sale in Orlando. Let's pick a nice $400,000. Oh, is this new construction? No, it doesn't look like new construction. Well, kind of does. It looks beautiful. Time on Zillow, 66 days. All right, we're going to use this house right here, which is, it says number C. So that'll be a little bit of an extra challenge, whatever that number C is. So we're going to use this address here. So property address, we have simple, and they have one called multi-part. So if we have directions in the name, so let's just go to simple. Let's start with simple and see how simple it is. Let's do 1408 Catherine. Oh, these are my favorite property appraiser sites. The ones that pre-fill. They auto-populate. You see how this started popping up the second I started typing? That's awesome. So we can click on that, hit search, and let's see what we get. here we go. Unit C. I didn't even have to figure that out myself. Most likely this is the actual property or the parcel ID right here. When you see those long numbers with hyphens, it gives us a little image, and it even tells us that this last image was taken in July 06. That's something I'm starting to see on more and more property appraiser sites, which is an image. I'm not sure how frequently they're updating those. Maybe it's whenever a sale happens, they go and they pull up records. But let's see. We could print this record sheet. We could email it. We can check out a detailed map, street view, bird's eye view. We can favorite it, so you can sign up. You can create an account on here and you can add favorites. That is awesome. Estimate your taxes, calculate portability, get the current trim notice, taxes, settings, estimate your taxes, and view your taxes. So let me just do that first. Let me show you guys, if you're looking to figure out maybe what the taxes are going to be on a property that you're going to be purchasing, one that you're looking at the current moment, you can actually always view everyone's taxes. That's public record. And usually it brings you to their tax site. So this one, it pulls up property appraiser. So you can actually go back and forth between the tax website and the property appraiser website. That is very common. This is going to show us who the current owner is, if they're paid or unpaid. Little pro tip there, if you are looking to market to people and you're doing research on a property, you see they had some unpaid taxes, especially 2 years or more of unpaid taxes. Now that is a good lead. So here we go. We can click on tax bill. Let's see, it's showing us the total assessed value is $262. Well, that's going to change if they get $400,000 for their property. But let's go here. We'll click on tax bill. It should load us the actual bill that this person received in the mail. And here we go. Paid, do not pay. Good chance maybe they have their taxes escrowed and get paid by the mortgage company. But either way, we can see right here that their total tax bill was a little over $4,100. And here's that common theme where if you pay your taxes early, they incentivize you by giving yourself a little discount. So if you're the type of person that likes to create a folder with all the details of a property that you're dealing with, this is one of those items that I would definitely add to my folder, which is the taxes. So we're going to go back over here to the property appraiser site and see what other good information we get. Up here, always the first set of information is important. We want to know who the owner is of a property, their mailing address, and I think that that's important to me as somebody that's an investor, because I am always, of course, more partial to a property that has a different mailing address than the physical address, because that would mean it's an absentee owner, somebody that might have a little bit more motivation in wanting to sell their property because either they live out of state, it's a second home, it's a rental property, whatever it may be. Maybe it was an inherited home. But let's go back to what we're talking about, which is what we want to use this website for. It's to find out the taxes. It's to find out the size of the house, the owner. And we can look at prior sales. Right here, you actually have a nice simple tab, sales analysis. Sometimes it's all part of one single sheet. So we can see back in 2017, the house sold for $310,000. And now they have it for sale for $400,000. Looks like they're trying to make some nice money. Maybe they're taking advantage of that 2 years of homestead ownership and saving taxes. Let's see, property features. On this one, it's telling us that it's labeled as a condominium, 1,800 square feet. It was built in '04. It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, concrete block structure with stucco. So that's great information to have whenever you can get that kind of information. I love it. So Orange County has a great property appraiser website. Just looking at this main screen and clicking around, I can already tell you guys, if you're dealing with Orange County, congratulations, you've got a good property appraiser website. Let's see, market stats, nothing under there. Location info. Wow, this is really neat. Look at this, nearby amenities within a mile, 4 barber shops, 20 beauty salons. I gotta click on this. Look at that. Whoa, business name, address, and a map for those beauty salons. That is awesome. I am jealous. I am really jealous here. Elected officials, you can see who your representatives are. You can, oh my goodness. utility services, your electric, water, recycling, trash, and yard waste. And it looks like they have links. I'm going to hold the control button on my keyboard, which always helps pop up a new tab when you click on something. That's probably the CMD or the command for Mac users. Sorry, don't know. But I'm going to hold control and click on one of these. So it loads a new window up here. So this was for the electric. And it brings you right to the electric sign-up page. That's awesome. That is awesome. I gotta say, I am pretty impressed with this. Schools, Boone High School, the elementary school. They're not listing the middle school, but you can actually get into these schools by clicking on that image. I mean, this is good. This is a really nice property appraiser site. But what are some of the other pieces of important information that you want to get off of here? Well, let's check it out. All right, so we're still looking around on here. Let's do some of the maps. So I just clicked on Street View. It looks like it brings us right into Google Maps, so I always like that. One reason I really like the Google Maps Street View, not that I've seen many others, is that in this bottom right-hand section here, for Street View, you can see where it says image capture. So just a little tip, if you're not familiar with Google Maps at all and looking at the Street View or even the satellite view, Google will always tell you when that image was last captured. Aerials seem to always be a little bit more updated, a little more current, probably because that's satellite imagery. But in terms of Street View, that's the Google car driving around taking photos. And I don't really see many that are more than, say, 8 years old, which is a long time, no matter what. But this is February 2020. So you could look at that, and then if we come back over here to Zillow and click on that main image, I know my head's blocking a lot of it, but not a huge difference in what this house, well, that's only a year old. So let's come back over here. We can close that Street View. I wanted to now click on Map. Usually the aerial maps are pretty neat. Usually these are, yep. So this is going to be what they call a GIS map. I guess I should figure out what GIS stands for. But here we go. So this one, it loaded it up very quickly. You can see it's got the little outline here of the house that we're talking about. It also helps me understand why they're calling this a condominium. If you look, you can see behind it, or just to the left or right of it, they have another property with a different parcel ID. So normally here, if you look, you can see there's numbers on here. Usually that's referencing the actual parcel ID. We can double check that. We have 1408 is the actual street address, but this ends in 00030. I'm not sure if that's going to be, let's see, 0030, so that matches up with that. But anyways, it's not that important. I just wanted to show you what these maps look like. You can get a lot of different information off of these maps. Like you can see here, you can add different layers to see different things. Sometimes it's might take a second if you click on one of these, depending on the type of information you're trying to get it to load up. But you can get it to show you quite a bit of information, and as you zoom out, usually that will populate. And one thing, just with how awesome their property appraiser site has been so far, I'm gonna take a guess here that if we click on a spot on the map, not necessarily the property we're talking about, but one next to it, let's see. No, you can't do it on here. Oh, we can. So that let me click on the property next to it. So I like this feature. It means you can do a little bit more of an exploratory route by clicking on a property. Maybe you're interested in some of the properties in the entire neighborhood. Maybe you're not interested in just that one single property. Maybe there's a couple in the area you want to check out. Maybe identify some out-of-town owners. So that's something nice you can do on this map. And it's going to load up their information right over here on the right-hand side. And usually you can get right back into the property appraiser site by clicking on a link like this one. It's showing us that parcel ID up here, right here. Let me highlight it for you guys so you can see that. So if I click on this, it's going to bring me right back to Property Appraiser, but on a different property. So it might look the same, but it is a different property. This is owned by Dama Harpel. So we can come back over to ours and just back into the GIS map. I'm just showing you there's different things you can do, and you can just play around with this, see if there's something specific that you like on here. Parcel search, so you can actually just search by the address, by the owner name. So it's very similar to their property appraiser searching, but on a map view. So this is really nice. They actually have foreclosures listed on here. That's interesting. That's some really good information to have accessible right there. Although we have another 14 months of forbearance, depending on when you're watching this. This is being recorded in February 2021. Crazy time, people, crazy times. So those are just the layers. We already went over that. Let's see, base map. That's interesting. So that's probably the most current. This is interesting. Click on 2010. Man. Orange County, Florida. Awesome property appraiser site. I'm trying to think what else I'd like to show you guys on here. Bird's eye view. We don't really need to get onto that. Looks like you can send this property email message. That's really nice if you got a partner you're working with. Maybe this is a client of yours. Maybe you were out, maybe you're a realtor, you're not an investor, you just want to pull up some extra information for your clients. Well, just send this over to them. It's going to give them so much information, and they might think that you did a lot of work and you didn't. So let's do one other thing. So let's try. So we have Grimsley Stephen is the owner of this property. Well, let's say we did not know the address. Let's say that Stephen Grimsley is a friend of ours. Or I met Stephen when I was out at a park one day, and he told me he was interested in selling his property, and I wrote his address down wrong. And I'm trying to track Stephen down. I want to buy that house. It was a good deal. So let's go back. Stephen Grimsley. I got to remember that. Stephen Grimsley. All right, help me, people. All right, so we're at our search page here. And we're going to go under, so this is under quick search, owner name. So owner name, let's see what this says under information. Search parcels by owner name. So this is pretty common. Start with last name, then first name. Good chance we're going to get some auto-populating happening here. So Grimsley. Look at that. A lot of them. And there's Mr. Stephen right there. Sometimes it's better to not have as much. Obviously, this found him, so that's fine. We could click on that. But let's say we didn't have all that and we were just Grimsley S. It should still bring us. There we go. So you can see it brought us right into his record, but let me go back. Let me go here and show you something a little bit. Let's do a John Smith, a common name, and show you. It should give us a list of properties, because there's going to be multiple John Smiths. I just know there will be. We'll click search here, and here you go. Now we get a list of all properties owned by John Smith. There's a total of 36 records, so maybe I'm trying to track down somebody. I had no idea the address. I've just got a name. This is another way to do it. So this is really neat. Looks like you can download results to an Excel spreadsheet, so you could click on a bunch of these if you want to make a log of all these different names. So that's really awesome. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. That's really all I wanted to show you guys, which was just how simple it can be to use the property appraiser website for an area that you're not familiar with. And I think the only other really important information that you really need to obtain when you're looking at properties like this, besides the actual square footage and the bedrooms and the bathroom counts, is really figuring out just kind of permit status and things that have been improved on a property. Property features. So this is where it should be labeled. View plat, total land area, planned unit development for the zoning, type code, single family, building value, working. Let me see if I can click into this. All right, so this is something else worth noting, is pulling up the sketches. And this is interesting. They have like a little magnifying glass feature. Everything I keep exploring on here I like more and more. So you can see the base level of this house. Front open porch is probably what front open porch, FOP. So all these little acronyms here that you'll see on a sketch, FUS, FDG, BAS, a lot of those are pretty common. acronyms that you'll see from appraiser site to appraiser site, and they're always going to explain what that is. They're going to list out the square footage for each of those areas. So we know that on this property there's 2207 living square footage. Please ignore this. We are on a different property now, just so you guys are aware. This is not the same property as this one. But you can see this living area of 2207. You might have to kind of figure out where that 2207 square footage is coming from by adding up certain areas. So the 1447 is this main area, most likely at base area. And I'm guessing the upper story for the FUS. So that upper story is 760. So there's most of our square footage right there. That 1447 and the 760 is most likely that 2207. All right. But what I really want, so that was just by clicking on buildings. But again, I was just trying to see some of the property appraiser sites will let us know if there are any recently performed improvements to the house, and it'll show us if there was a permit pulled for that. I am not seeing that on this property appraiser. Again, we are learning together because I'm showing you how simple and quick this can be. Maybe the video's not simple and quick, but maybe it is for some of you. That was the results, property record. So yeah, so it's not listed on here. That's not a big deal. What I can show you quickly is how quickly we can pull that up. So if we go back, let's go back home. Usually your property appraiser and your permitting departments are completely separate. So let's try that. Let's try Orange County, Florida permit search. Here we go, permits and license. I took an extra minute or two here. I clicked around, I found how to search for the permits. It was not that difficult. And it's just, again, to show you guys how simple some of this is. So on the permit and licensing site that we got to through the Google search, I found down here this fast track permits, where it said check permits. So I clicked on this one. It brought me to this fast track site here, and it says register, which a lot of people would think you probably have to register to do this. That is not the case. You can check on, schedule, cancel, track inspections here. Sometimes homeowners will do that. It's very rare. Usually your contractor will be the one in charge of that. And then you also have our search tools. So if we go to search tools, it pops up this box here, and we can do properties, address, or parcel. You can do the permit search all type. So if you click on that one right here, this very first building permits, this lets you search by the street number, then the street name, and the street type. The only negative about this that I'm seeing is that it does say maximum date range allowed for a search is 6 months. So that's interesting. Normally they'll let you search for an entire however long. That way you can just see all the permits that were done. If you guys remember though, from the property appraiser, this is not that old of a building. So there's a good chance there's not a lot of permits for it to even show. But either way, that's how you get to the permit search. If you have a contractor, maybe you have a local roofer you could reach out to, that would be the first person to ask a question like this too. If you don't have somebody at a title companies are also really good places to just ask, hey, how do I go search for a permit on a property? But if you do have a contact like a roofer, plumber, somebody like that you know would be pulling permits, or maybe even just another investor or realtor, they might have some familiarity with this website and be able to show you the definitive way to do it. But I just wanted to get you guys just a little taste of how it is you can get in here to search for that. But I wanted to go over more of the property appraiser and just getting the basic information on your property. And you do that through this website here, which is the property appraiser site for Orange County, Florida. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. If there is a county in the United States that you guys would be interested in having me do this same walkthrough on, feel free to let me know in the comments. But I will ask for something from you, and that's a subscribe. Please click like, hit the subscribe button. Let me know if you enjoyed this. I'm just doing this for your benefit. At the end of every video, I will say, usually the same thing, which is I hope this video helps just one of you out there, help you acquire a property, help you learn more about a property, or just understand how simple it is to do this type of research. So with that, I will let you to it. Good luck on your property search, and again, I hope this video helped you. Thanks for watching.